Well, a very good morning and welcome to Baku in Azerbaijan on the first day of competition of this Grand Slam 2014. In a minute, I'm going to put my special guest, Mark Pickering, IJF Media Manager, on the spot by asking him to give me some of his picks for today. But I'll just tell you before that, now that you can get settled, I'll just tell you before that we've got 5 weight categories to bring you today. 3 women, 2 men. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Sheldon.
How you doing? Have we got enough volume for you there, mate? Can you, yeah?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right, okay, let's go then. Where do you want to go first? Do you want to pick out the best weight category, or you just want to go through them, men first, women second, or what's your preference?
One standout category I'll give you straight away, I think, is the under 57 kilogram category.
Okay.
We've got 16 judokas, so that's a nice even number, 4 in each pool. And then the top seed is Sabrina Filsmosa, double world medalist, 9-time European medalist, and at 33 she's still firmly in her prime.
Where do you think her competition, the stiffest competition, is likely to come from? Top seed here, Sabrina Filsmosa. Who should we be looking at to
I
test
think that
her?
could come from Blot.
Oddly enough, yeah.
Absolutely.
Another 30-year-old. We shouldn't really be talking about their ages, should we? But she's 31.
Samsung Grand Prix winner.
A little bit of a background for her?
Yeah, so Samsung Grand Prix was her first IJF gold medal.
Incredible at 31.
Absolutely. And now she's got the Grand Slam selection. So she might be number 2 behind Pavia, of course, but still she'll be happy to get the pick this weekend. And at 31, her career's just starting to really take off at this level. We had a little chat with her this morning. She's a bubbly, effervescent, young 31-year-old, and obviously relishing the chance of competing at a Grand Slam. It's her first Grand Slam outside of France, because she's fought in the Paris Grand Slam twice. But as Mark quite rightly said, the result in Paris, 5th place in Paris, 1 in Samsun at a Grand Prix, and now here she is in another Grand Slam. Right, what about, very quickly, the other, let's pick out one weight for the men. Who do you think, what do you think it's going to be, 60 or 66? I'd say 66. 66
right.
has got some nice depth in there. We've got Richard Sobirov, who was unbeaten not so recently for 2 years. He's now back into the fray. We've got Colin Oates in there as well. There's a number of judoka to watch. Is there anyone that caught your eye in that field?
I'm going to be honest and say that I haven't really had a chance to have a long look. But the number 1 seed, Mirzahid Furmanov of Uzbekistan, that's Sobirov's teammate. There's a Korean in there as well, Kim Lim-won, who I think actually trains at the Tokai. He may have some Japanese connections. Tristan Piekrishvili of Georgia, who medaled here last time around. Kamal Khan Magomedov, you never really know what's going to happen with Kamal.
Yes.
You know, he's hot and cold. Sinan Sandal, Dmitry Dragan, Elio Verdi, Colin Oates you mentioned already, Talan Karimov of Azerbaijan, Shalva Kadava, the Georgian, it's pretty good. Golan Polak of Israel, he's also quite explosive. So I think really those are the those are the names that we should be looking at. So 48, 52, 57 for women, 60, 66 for men. We've still got a minute or so. We can throw in a couple more names there. What's happening with the in the 48 kilo category?
In the 48 kilogram, we've got the world champion, Munkbat Yuran Setseg. So due to the new back patch, she'll be the only judoka wearing anything other than blue. She'll be wearing red this weekend as the reigning world champion. She's the only world champion in the field. No Olympic champions.
Yeah, Munkbat. Okay, let's see what her competition is like. Who is she going to face any competition from? Sumia Akos, medalist here last year, I think. Maybe the Russian, Natalia Kondratieva. Emily Rosanu of Israel is the number 2 seed here, and then we've got Valentina Moscat and Dilara Lokmanahim of Turkey. Those are the numbers. We're going to start by looking at the competition in the under 60 kilos. I think that's what we decided on. 60 kilos on mat number 2. We've got 3 mats here. You can take your pick. But we're going to start with the contest between Ludovic Chamatan of Switzerland and Rasim Almamadov of Azerbaijan. It'll be Chamatan in the white judogi, Almamadov in blue. Thanks to Mark Pricking. Not quite sure how much longer he's going to stay with us because he's got his journalist duties for the IJF as their media manager. But we'll try and keep him for a little while. But thanks very much. Sit back and enjoy all the action. It's Mat 2. Right, just to let you know that down on mat number 1, we've got the under 52 kilo category opening contest. That is Ilona Beryanchenko of Russia. She faces Sakina Zairova of Azerbaijan. That's down on mat number 1. And on mat number 3, in the under 66 kilo category, the opening contest down there is Zhanaize Smagulov of Kazakhstan. He faces Orkan Hajiagali of Azerbaijan. Chamatan and Almamadov is the contest that we're going to feature. First up, 3 mats, take your pick.
Almamadov will be one of 3 Azerbaijan judoka in this category, so there'll be a lot of domestic interest, and they'll be hoping that this is the one that they could really push for the medal today.
I can hear you now. I don't know why the volume was down on your set. The technical little pieces.
Sabotage.
Yeah, someone obviously wanted me to struggle this morning. That's not difficult. I haven't had any breakfast. Right, it looks as though we're about to get underway then. A couple of seconds late. We're pretty good at timekeeping. We've become quite used to having things done on time now.
Clockwork.
So, good morning to everyone at home. Thanks very much for joining us, wherever you may be. 10 o'clock in the morning here. From time to time you get the impression that they're sliding off the mat because of the camera angle, but I assure you that it's not on a hill. Judo's being done on a nice flat surface here. Chamatan beginning to thin a little bit on top, I'm afraid. Join the club, mate. It's a shame when you're a young man that begins to go. He's only in his 20s. Anyway, that's no real consequence to what's happening on the mat. No score yet, 3:40 odd left to go. It's Minakawa is the referee taking control of this one. Big Ojigari, that was super. Absolutely super. You couldn't get better than that. I think that's 10. Sorry.
I'd like to see a replay of that one.
Yeah, that is zip on, mate.
You know. Oh, there you go.
We need a replay for that. That was absolutely beautiful. You're going to have to work hard to get Ippon from the Brazilian referee, mate, I tell you. Hey, look.
Yeah. No doubt about it.
It's that left arm that he has around the back. Look at where he's got that. He throws it around the back, grabs hold of the advertising on the back of his jacket. Look at that big hook. Really pushes, and down he goes.
No way out of that.
Yeah. Complete commitment into that. He was so close to him.
And even when the correction was to be made, then it's nice to see that it's instantaneous now.
Yeah, no hanging about. Terry Clover's turn now in the middle. Having a look at the Belgian referee. We've got Robert Shvidabadze of Russia, and he faces Yassine Moudatir of Morocco. Don't write off the Moroccan. He's a good quality fighter, is Yassine Moudatir. A little bit slow with that attempted Yoko Otoshi. Shvidabadze saw that coming from last week. Blocked that fairly easily.
The Moroccan female athletes have really been in the ascendancy recently. Asma Niang, Gisline Zououk.
Yeah.
We've seen them on the medal podium.
Two good fighters. I mean, for a long time we've known about Asma Niang. Zououk's been there or thereabouts, but never really done it outside of the continent, whereas Niang, you know, she's always caused people trouble.
Difficulties,
but just recently, Rizlan has been showing some skills there. So, yeah, you're right. Two good fighters in Zououk and Niang. Two more fighters and they'd have a team, wouldn't they, the Moroccans? I'm sure that they compete in the African Championships and do really well. I mean, it'll be Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco and Egypt, the women's teams. Pretty much the same for the men, actually, to be honest. North Africans very strong.
And we see their participation increasing on an annual basis at the World Championships, and they're getting ever closer to really staking a claim even for team honours and individual honours.
So he's had a better go there. This time he didn't stop him completely from coming in. He got the attack in, just didn't have the finish. So he's sharp.
He's working some openings. He's turning for the choke, and he switched out of it.
It's got away from him in the end, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Shimmy was up. Just thinking about that, we were going back to what we were talking about North Africa, because we've got Yassine Moudatir on the mat at the moment in the under 60 kilo category as well, and his neighbour from Tunisia won the World Championships at under 60 kilos in 2001 in Munich. That was Anis Lounifi on the World Championships there. He's coaching the Tunisians now. He's put on a bit of weight. He's up about 81 kilos now. Saikomi, he's had to change that. Started off with the, well, it's back to Kamishio Gatami now. That looks a bit tighter. How easily moved around.
No problem, nicely switched.
Yeah.
Keep on.
Tidied him up on the ground.
Just overpowered him.
Yeah. Shvidabadze, one of 3 or 4 good, strong Russians at under 60 kilos. Beslan Mudranov, for me, at the moment, is the pick of the under 60s. Yeah. Ahead of Galstian for me.
Absolutely on form.
Yeah, Beslan Mudranov, Arsene Galstian, and then Robert Shvidabadze. There's a few of them in there. But they've never had any difficulty producing lightweights anyway. Always managed to turn out good fighters at lightweight. Right, who have we got now? Elnur Aliyev of Estonia faces Adrien Ramond of France. I mean, I'm absolutely certain that the Estonian is originally from Azerbaijan.
Elnur.
Yeah, Elnur Aliyev. I mean, a good old Estonian name, that one. Lisa Kearney has just won her opening contest in the under 52 kilo category down on mat number 1, just defeating Vafa Yavzova of Azerbaijan. good start for Lisa Coney. That's what you need. If it's not going to be a big number, what you really need is one in the bag, you know, to get you into the next round. You can't afford.
And especially against a home athlete.
Yeah.
That'll give you that extra bit of confidence.
So she's in the quarter-final, you see.
Straight away.
You know, it's because it's one round, quarter-final, semi-final. Annabelle Urani takes to mat number 1 to face Busra Akyol of Turkey. What a job that is for Akyol to face Urani. Real quality fighter. She's come back now, 31, 2 children. Had a break. Incredibly strong fighter. She was off for 2 or 3, 4 years, I think it was. She had an older sister, Fanny. I don't think, and David. I think they're all one family. We're talking about someone who's on the adjoining mat. It doesn't really matter. I mean, well, she's not any longer. She's just won by Ippon, so wasting no time. No. Silver medalist at the World Championships. That was quite a while ago now, but she's back.
She'll be joined in action today in this category by her compatriot Priscilla Neto, Olympic bronze medalist who makes a return to action.
She was a silver medalist at the World Championships in Osaka in 2003. Let's tell you how long ago. Now 13.
And 5th at Athens.
And 5th in the Olympic Games in Athens. So, you know, she's got some real quality. I think that this might be Urani's time.
10 years later?
To be honest. Yeah, because she's 30-odd. She's incredibly awkward. I mean, you've seen the height of her. And as you said off camera this morning about Priscilla Neto, and hasn't really been at her best since London. Well, that's 2.5 years ago now, you know.
Exactly.
So you need to start getting it together.
Yeah.
Mind you, someone like Ola Bischoff has demonstrated that, you know, you can come right at the end and make good.
Like we were just saying with Arsene Galcian.
Yeah,
it's about
you
getting
could
that
come
timing
back.
right.
Yeah. The break, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, was 6 years. 6 years. She fought in 2006 in the world and European teams. Got a gold at the World Team Championships and a silver at the European Team Championships. So she had a successful end. Well, she won the Paris tournament, you know, which is, you know, Grand Slam. You know, she gold medal winner there. She's just terrific background. A European champion in 2003 as well. So you're talking about someone who's 21, 20. You know, she's just a junior when she was winning those. Now she's gone away. She's had her 2 kids. She's come back. She's got all of that experience and all of that success to come back into. And what she doesn't have, remember, are all the possible injuries that somebody competing in 6 years may have collected. Yeah. So she's sharp. Anyway, that's all about Annabelle Urani, who wasn't even on the mat that we were looking at. We were talking about Elna Aliev and Adrian Ramond. Aliev, through that conversation, has picked up 3 penalties. Raymond now joins him on 3 on a rather unattractive contest. Still has well over a minute left to go. Now you can't win them all, you know. Sometimes it's not as pretty as you would like it to be. Frenchman's on the board with Yuko though. After that little left-sided Seoinage off the mat, Ostrikov decided, I'm going to sort this one out and give you a Yuko.
It's a case of just building the results these first opening few fights. I think the performances will hopefully come then. Raymond will be happy to see out the remainder of the contest down there, I think.
He's only got half a minute left to go. Just as long as he doesn't commit another error, he should take this, because Aliev has never looked capable of throwing him. And until Raymond scored that Yuko, I didn't think he looked capable of throwing Aliev. He does there, though. Although, see, Vostrikov is just going to say that he just took him down to the ground to engage Minevaza, rather than any kind of scoring technique. Yeah.
The score.
9 seconds left to go. Got to go for it now. Misses.
There it is.
Poor little effort, though, wasn't it? I mean, you've got one more go. You've got to get a little bit closer than that. And unfortunately for Aliev, he couldn't. So, Raymond it is who goes into the next round. This is in the under 60 kilo category. We're on mat 2, having a look at the action there. The number 1 seed is Ganbo Kerlan of Mongolia. I haven't seen him yet. Sort of lurking around in the corridors somewhere. He'll surface when round 2 starts, and there is a second round in the men's competition in the under 60 kilo category. 2 rounds, quarter-final, semi-final.
27 judoka today in that lineup.
Next fight on mat 2, first round for men under 60 kilo.
Raymond is going to face Shvidabadze in the second round. Coming up now, Georgi Mezablishvili of Georgia faces Begi Meretglediev of Turkmenistan. It's a new one on me. Actually, sorry, go on.
The World Judo Tour obviously resumes this weekend. Our last event was the Grand Prix in Tbilisi.
Good one, it was, yeah. Where are we off to next then, pal?
The next one will be Havana.
Havana!
Cuba.
Down in my area.
Absolutely, just down the road.
Yeah, home result.
That will be the first IJF event of the Rio 2016 qualification phase.
Yeah, good point, because we'll be focusing on the run-in. It's funny to call 2 years a run-in, because it's a qualification period, but it doesn't really start. The qualification starts, as Mark was saying, in June for the IGF. We've got one event, I think Spain's got a European Open for men and women, and it's the first place that points are available. But to say that that qualifying for Rio starts there, that's the official qualification. However, people have already, it's like a horse race. You've got to be at the start line to have a chance. And they're all lining up, they're all jockeying for position, and all of these tournaments over the last 2 years to get you up to a good spot on the IGF World Ranking list so that you get seeded and you get a good draw. That's all been part of it.
You've been working 2 years to get to this stage.
To get to this stage.
It's a full Olympic cycle of 4 years.
Exactly, 4 years. Mesablishvili is in the white judogi, if you haven't worked that out yet. Meretglediev is in blue. Just missed out, trying to go left-sided there. Fell away at the end and the technique just collapsed on him. No score. I can see Sabrina Filzmer's name coming up soon. She's going to face Adiasambu Solman of Mongolia.
2 fights time.
On mat number 1, I think we'll see that.
On mat 3, we have the former double world champion Richard Soborov of Uzbekistan.
Why don't we go down there to have a look at that? Yeah. Mat number 3 then. Let's have a look at Tarlan Karimov of Azerbaijan and Rishad Sobirov of Uzbekistan. It's Karimov in the white judogi, Sobirov in blue. 2 minutes and 40 odd sorry, got the time wrong there. 3.5 minutes left to go. There's no score yet. Sobirov it is who's picked up the 1 Shido.
As we saw there, Sobirov has got a world ranking of 74. So he's someone that's really going to have to make a move in this weight category, in this new weight category, in this qualification process, if he's to reach the heights and to be seeded at these major events.
Yeah, he's going to struggle for a while, because the likelihood is that, I mean, he's drawn Karimov. I'm not quite sure where Karimov was as far as the seeding is concerned. Well, he wasn't one of the top 4 seeds, but he was one of the top 8. So, in a way, Sobirov was lucky not to draw one of the top 4, but he was unlucky because he drew one of the top 8. And it's not a big field, so your chances of avoiding one of the 8 are pretty slim. Uchimata left-sided, but Karimov deals with that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, he wasn't even one of the top 8 then. Karimov. So Sobirov was lucky, and there's the left Uchimata. That'll please him. Kathy Mouet.
Trademark Soborov.
Yeah, managing to put herself in the right position to see exactly what was going on there.
He'll move on to face Colin Oates, who's actually been a bit of a bogeyman for Soborov. A number of wins over him.
He won't be pleased about that, will he? Can you imagine? It's just the sort of thing that you didn't want to see in your draw. Oates looming large for
next up
Sobirov, 2nd round contest. Right, we may jump around a little bit, I think. I'm looking forward to seeing the Filzmerza Adiasambu contest.
That'll be a full-blooded contest, that one. The winner of that one will push on, you'd imagine, into medal contention.
One more contest on mat 1. First round for women under 52 kilo. In white for Turkey, Ayşe Arca. In blue for Azerbaijan, Gulshan Nazarova.
Now, Adiasambu Solman had previously fought previously in the under 52 kilo category. He's moved up to 57 now. I'm not sure whether that is going to be permanent or not, but she's up there anyway. Silver medalist at the IJF World Masters a couple of years ago.
Event.
And now she's up there at 57.
So she's got what she needs in the stiff test in the first contest. Whether she wants to stay in this weight category, she should have an early indication of her ability.
I don't think that she's got the beating of Filzmerza. She has we are 6 meters away from where the pair are standing, Filzmerza and Adiasambu. They're just starting to warm up now, and
The number 2.
I know who looks more nervous.
Filsmosa is firmly in the zone.
Sorry?
Filsmosa is firmly in the zone.
Absolutely. You know, she's the one to beat. And I don't think Adia Sambu is unaware of that fact. Let's go down to mat number 1. We're going to see Sabrina Filzmerser of Austria. She faces Adia Sambu Solman of Mongolia. It's Filzmerser in the white judogi, Adia Sambu in blue. I wonder how this one is going to turn out. Did you see the figures on there? Filzmerser is number 10, Solman number 11.
Number 11, hot on the heels.
Is that right?
Judo apiece after 30 seconds.
Yeah, I suspect. I mean, I didn't see the signal from the referee, but I suspect it because they were refusing to take a grip.
Yeah, exactly.
Filzmerser would be perfectly happy to stay on the ground all day. We know her skills there. Adia Sambu probably not as keen. You see, if you're not careful with putting out information and keeping on top of things, it can be very, very misleading, because we've got Sabrina Filzmerser as having, I think it's 951 points on the world ranking list at number 10. And that's all well and good. I like that. You know, so we know exactly where Filzmerser is. She's ranked number 10 in the world, and she's got 951 points. Now, Adia Sambu Solman is ranked number 11 in the world. She's got 992 points, but in a different weight. That's my point. You know. So everyone at home think you've got a head-to-head here. You've got a head-to-head. You've got a mismatch, really.
Different categories.
It's a completely different weight category.
.90 seconds remaining, and we're still all square, Judo apiece. The winner of this contest will move on into the second round, and they will face Sanne Verhagen of the Netherlands or Russia's Anastasia Velovanova. Inside a minute, and Filzmerser, the veteran, is now pushing for an opening in Newaza. And the Mongolian manages to break free. Judo for passivity for the Mongolian, and that's swings the contest firmly into the favour of the Austrian. And Filsmoser will be more than happy to remain on the ground for the final 20 seconds. A spirited effort from the Mongolian, but the second Shido's the difference.
And right to time as well. Took her to full time. She was only down, as you say, by that Shido, but ended up where we said Filsmoser was perfectly happy to be for the whole contest in Nevaza. So not a bad effort when you think about it. And given that this is not a weight category, you know, then as you say, a good effort. What's it, 12 down in the bottom right-hand corner?
Just for a hold down right at the end.
So why is it stopped at 12? Did she tap at 12?
No, time ran out.
It can't run out if there's osaikomi. The osaikomi continues going. So why didn't that go the full distance? She must have tapped. Yeah, she must have tapped because the osaikomi would continue running even though zeros are up on the scoreboard. We're just exercising our minds with regard to how all these things work. I hope it's not boring you at home, but you know, they can cause lots of confusion later on at different times. So I'm sorry if I caused any confusion about the world ranking thing. That was something that I should have been aware of, but it's a new system that we're running and I hadn't seen it before, so my apologies for that. Anyway, where are we now? Another nice matchup. Sanne Verhagen of the Netherlands. She takes to the mat for the first time this morning, and this is also in the under 57 kilo category. And I was chatting with her coach last night, hoping that she would do well here. She faces Anastasia Beloivanova of Russia. The winner will face Sabrina Filsmoser. Right, so we've dealt with the Adia Sambu threat. Came close but missed out. And now Verhagen has got to deal with Beloivanova. She's got nice throwing skills, the Dutch girl. Trails there by a single Shido, wouldn't worry about that.
Who would you say has the best chance against Filsmoser in the next round?
Blow. Oh, out of this pair? Verhagen. Because Verhagen's a good fighter. You know, she is a good little fighter. She's got good throwing skills as well. She's dangerous. You know, she's got a good, strong upper body, good hips, good movement. She's fast. She's the one with the biggest threat. Just needs to free her hands up, and once she's got her hands on her opponent, you should see some fireworks. Didn't get the feet moving there for that Seoinage. Came in at the side. Never really threatened Beloivanova with that attack. We're down on mat number 1. Not only as far as the pictures are concerned, but our commentary position is down at mat number 1 as well.
If you have a pick for this category, then we'd love to know your predictions. You can join in on the discussion on Facebook, which is www.facebook.com/ijudo, which is the official IGF Facebook page, where we posted live pictures today, results and information.
We've got a Twitter account as well, haven't we?
We do. That is www.twitter.com/intjudofed.
The only reason I say that is that somebody said, I've sent you a message on Twitter. And
are you on Twitter?
They emailed me a message and said, I sent you a message on Twitter. And I sent them one back saying, what's Twitter? So I'm a little bit behind the times, I'm afraid. I've reached that stage in my life where
Facebook's your limit.
I am actually an old man. So I'll admit that. Well, I do know what Facebook is, and I've got a page on there, but I'm not on there every day. Though I understand that quite a few people live there, you know. I didn't realise it was somewhere that you could live, but 3 penalties picked up by Verhagen. Her coach, Mark Earl, is going to be absolutely upset with that because...
Hasn't quite asserted herself, has she?
No, not at all. And we haven't seen any of those throwing skills that I've been talking about. I'm not going to be too disparaging to Belo Ivanova to say that she's played a little bit of a spoiler, but with 2 Shidos on there as well, there's a right-sided Ojigari attempt from Verhagen, but really it's too little too late. Another Seoinage effort. I wonder if she's been called for a false attack for that, when she's been a little bit desperate. She doesn't look to be... Yeah, because he was already thinking about, you know, the false attack there. They just don't think it's that genuine. And if the feet aren't moving, then you are going to be in trouble. She needs to be up on her feet now. Needs to be first. Can't allow Belo Ivanova to get the first attack in, because that's probably why she's been picking up penalties. That was better. There you go.
That was close.
It's done. Wazari, I think. Kosotogaki bringing down Belo Ivanova for Wazari. Yeah. You know, it took a long time and it looked ugly with 3 Shidos on the board. But when the time came, she came up.
15 seconds left,
Yeah, she came up with a nice, neat little attack, and down went Belo Ivanova. And all the penalising that happened with Verhagen, and Belo Ivanova was probably lulled into thinking this was the right way to deal with it, you know, because she's not going to throw me. All of a sudden,
false sense of security.
Yeah, she gets whacked. And now a complete and total disappointment from Belo Ivanova. The idea was not to win on penalties. Throw the goal. Yep. You didn't score. You know, yes, she had 3 penalties, but there was always the possibility that she was going to come back and throw you, which in the end she did. So it's Verhagen who wins out there. And now we get to see Laetitia Blow of France. She faces Fabienne Koscher of Switzerland. It's Blow in the white judogi. Very attractive photograph down in the left-hand corner, and even an equally attractive photograph on the right-hand side there from Fabienne Koscher. Those are the 2. Yeah.
The first meeting between them.
There you go. Some nice statistics there as well. I take it all back, my comments earlier on about the... I'm surprised I get invited back to do this job. Gonna have to try and find a way of making up to my chief now, you know. Such a good system, it really is. 3:13 to go. Blow in the white judogi, Koscher in blue. Did I get that right? Blow in the white judogi, okay.
You did?
I have to check with you because I'm going to be ejected soon. First minute gone, no score. Nice Ojigari left-sided effort from Blow, and then a big Uranagi attempt. Comes up with Yuko, a little bit generous, I think, yeah. Because she was just getting away from her, wasn't she? She was just losing control there. Just didn't think there was enough control and maybe enough of the body on there. Swiss girl a little bit unlucky to be down by Yuko. Anyway, that's the lead. I mean, you know, Cortez, European referee of the year. I mean, who are we to question him? It really is laughable sometimes from the commentary position what we come up with when you've got such expertise, not just the fighters but the mat officials as well, and we say, oh, that wasn't a very good attack, or, you know, this has happened or that has happened as far as the fighting is concerned. And then you're talking about an Olympic or world champion, or you've got the best referee in Europe and the world, so, oh, that wasn't a Yuko.
It's a game of opinions.
Yeah. Well, ours is to comment on the action, and from time to time we give ourselves the license to give opinions. It's not a bad effort there. So she comes up with the second effort every time, doesn't she? It just means that the chance for a counter is lessened because you're having to deal with one attack after another. Though still leading by that Yuko. A little bit tentative with the left hand. She'd really want to put that on. Oh, that was nice. Almost a double turn in there. I tell you, if she'd gone then, she was going to be flying.
Reminded me of Pietri.
Yeah, that's right. More problems for Fabienne Kocher. She picks up a Shido now. Looks a little bit like Marie Muller.
She does.
See, there's the second attack.
Yep.
You know, it's the second one that really puts them under trouble.
Resist the first one and then fall to the second.
Minute left. Panic beginning to set in. You can see that from the Swiss girl. She's gone down Yuko. Now she's gone down to got a penalty on the board. Well, she always comes up with that Uranagi or Taniotoshi or something when she misses the first one. That's the blow we're talking about. Gutsy little fighter, isn't she?
Going to prize an opening with some Ashiwaza Koshers.
Yeah, just look for that Seoinage Koji combination as well. Half a minute left to go.
She's digging deep.
I like the right hand and blow now. It's just keeping her out. Here she goes again.
Turns out.
Slightly untidy. More reminiscent of a wrestling takedown than a nice looking Uranagi, but hey.
Whoever gets you there.
And it's late in the day, isn't it? She's going to work on the arm a little bit, but that's not going anywhere. What else is coming up? Gazimova and Song in the under 57 kilo category. Rogic and Shop. Oh! Fabienne Kocher was just running
behind that.
Yeah, running up blow there, wasn't she? That'll do. Just a Yuko. And did enough to take that contest. Muren and Chukvumiani in the under 60 kilo category on mat number 2. That might be a nice one. And then we've got Dilara Lokmanachin. We might give that one a miss. Farmanov, Mirzahid Farmanov, the number 1 seed, and Kim Lim Won of Korea. That will be on mat number 3 in a couple of fights' time. You can see Kamal Khan Magomedov lining up as well. He's a bit early. Where's he going? He won't be on for quite some time. Why is he haunting the place? His name's not up on our preview
He's not due up imminently.
He's on the mat. Yeah, he's right at the front.
Poised to compete, he believes.
What's he doing? That's mat number 1. They're not on for ages, are they? Gazimova and Song take to the mat. That's the right pair.
57 kilograms on mat 1. In white for Azerbaijan, Kifaya Ersimova.
Okay, so the 66 kilogram category will be starting shortly on mat 3.
So he's just lurking there then.
Just waiting in the wings.
Probably a little bit of gamesmanship, walking up and down the competitors who are waiting to come on, showing his face. And he's not even due on yet. He's just, you know, he's got by in the first round anyway. So he was there though. He was hanging around. He's still at the back, exercising, and maybe he's just getting a
feel.
He's getting a snifter,
feel
isn't he? taking the air. Well, my thanks to Mark Pickering, the IJF media manager. He's going to race off and conduct his other duties now. He's probably going to go and do an interim report.
And under 60 kilograms. The first round in white for Uzbekistan, Leon Bekurasayev, and in blue for Belarus, Ali Fagilov.
Thanks very much for that little bit of information about why it was that Adia Sumbu Solman, the clock stopped at 12, the Wasakomi clock stopped at 12 because she tapped. Thanks very much for letting us know that. I hadn't seen the tap, but no Chinese athlete to take on Kazimova. I wonder why that was. She never came and told us anything. We were unaware that an athlete was going to be missing. Too late now. Jovana Rogic of Serbia faces Evelina Schopp of Switzerland. She may have a little bit more luck than her teammate Fabienne Koscher, who lost out to Letizia Blow. Rogic in the white judogi and Schopp in blue. Well, it's 11:15 here in Baku. I suppose it's a little bit earlier wherever you are. I'm not sure how many people are watching in Asia. We're right on the border here, the political border anyway, because geographically we're already there, but politically it is Europe. We're right on the edge here, Azerbaijan. No score yet, just the single Shido picked up by Jovana Rogic. We may get lucky to have a chat with Nick Del Popolo from the United States of America. We hope we're going to have him up here in a couple of minutes. He's due to fight tomorrow. We'll find out what the state of play is when he comes up here. Big Ouchigari effort from Evelina Schopp, but Rogic turning on to her front. And just a single Shido there. Minute and 40 odd seconds left to go. And as I said, we were hoping to have a word with Nick Del Popolo, and now here he is. So I'm just going to ask Nick. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Sheldon. How you doing?
Not the best of mornings for you, I understand. You haven't been feeling your best, is that right?
No, I had actually had the same illness last year when I came here, so it's got to be something with Azerbaijan.
Must be in the air.
Yeah, or something, or the water.
You're allergic to oil.
Yeah, maybe. That's not a good thing for me, though. But yeah, my lymph node's swollen in my groin, and I can't function. I I broke out in a fever, and like I wouldn't get too close to me if I were you. So
That's okay. I mean, it may not be catching.
no, I hope
You know, that sort of thing may not be catching.
I hope not.
Well, what's the prospects then for you between now and tomorrow? Is that likely to improve to the point where you can compete, or is that a done deal now?
No,
and
that is a done deal.
right, it's that difficult, that
ship
painful.
has sailed.
Right. Okay.
I was just here to get medical treatment today, so.
I'm sorry to hear that, and we were desperate last night because we're in different hotels. So when I got your message, I couldn't actually help you out that much. But
and it's the first time I've ever stayed at a hotel besides the Park Inn when I've come to Azerbaijan. So
yeah, and we would have been there, and obviously we've got staff there who could have taken care of you, or at least had a look. I'm sorry to hear about that. In particular, I know that a lot of issues regarding funding and everything, and if you've had to spend a lot of your own money to get out of here, that's going to be a real disappointment.
That's the bummer about it. And not to mention, I mean, not to take anything away from any of the other players in the categories, but I saw my draw and it was quite good too, so that's a pretty good draw.
Yeah, I like the look of you in Pool B. It's certainly up to the quarter-final stage and there, because in that group, I think you've got the beating of everyone. The competition would have been Sagimuki from Israel, Marco Maddaloni from Italy, and Lasha Shavdatu-Ashvili, who's not untested, but not absolutely certain at 73. You know, it's going to take a while for him to get used to that. Rogic in some trouble here.
Oh, she's getting pinned, and she looks hurt.
Yeah. The right arm can't move.
Yeah. Oh, and there's pressure on it too.
Yeah.
She's in pain.
Evelina Schopp punches the air. She looked all right because she put the weight on it as she got up. So maybe frustration at knowing I'm not moving from this one. So Schopp goes one better than her teammate Fabienne Kosher, who lost out to the French girl Laetitia Blow in the previous round. There'll be a Swiss girl in the next round. So you've had some treatment of sorts. There's not a lot you can do in that area, is there?
Yeah, you could call it that, I guess.
Yeah.
It was more of like an eye test. Okay, throw some dirt on it, you're good to go. And as soon as I get out of here, I'm going to go to the hospital, though, just because I got to see a physician, you know.
Right. All right, well, sorry to hear that. I think you're quite right. I'd have liked you in the 73s tomorrow. I can see about 5 or 6 people in Pool B, you know, wringing their hands now at your not being in there. Mind you, they don't know that yet.
I think
the word will be out pretty quick, though.
I think Mookie might know it, because I was talking to the 2 coaches, and I said, I'm unplugging for this one, and so
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm genuinely sorry about that. The other concern, obviously, is that, you know, if it's happened here, hopefully it doesn't happen somewhere else. And try to look back and see what it was that you may have had to drink, to eat, what you maybe didn't have.
You know, I don't even know if it might be by coincidence that it happened twice here.
Yeah, probably.
But because I was kind of feeling, to tell you the truth, I was kind of feeling run down a couple of weeks before this tournament to begin with. So I think it's just that time of year, you know. The Continental Championships just happened. It's after Europe, after a bunch of training camps. That was a nice throw.
Moskova sharp on the Ochigari.
And in the Newaza.
Yeah, just missing the
arm.
The arm, yeah.
She'll get it, though.
For the Osai Komi.
Yeah, there he goes. That's tight.
It's even tighter now.
Yeah. That's tough. 30-second match, 20 of it's on your back. That's rough.
The other thing is that having scored Wazari, you cut down the time needed to hold anyway.
Even
So
50. Oh man, that's brutal.
Moskova coming out the winner there in probably what's going to be the most interesting of the weight categories today. 66 and 57, I think, are probably going to be the most interesting. That's where the real competition is. So Nick, rest, obviously, you know, not a great deal of moving around. You don't want to aggravate if you've got any soreness in that area. No carrying any heavy bags. I'm glad to see you haven't got a big heavy backpack on.
Nothing in here, yeah.
And if you really need to see anyone from the IJF medical team, we can arrange that too.
Okay.
All right. So you take care. I'm going to let you get back to putting your feet up and come back and let us know what happens, because I know there are people at home who want to know how you are and how you're doing. There are a lot of people that...
A couple people in particular,
Yeah. Well, we'll give them the shout out, and I've got access to the internet. I'll send a message.
Okay, please do.
Yeah, you take care, buddy.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Nick Del Popolo, we'll miss seeing him tomorrow in the under 73 kilo category. He's walking wounded as opposed to being carried out on a stretcher. So that's at least that's good news. Now, who is it that on this occasion has failed to turn up? Another Chinese. Right. Okay. So we'll just let the 30 seconds run out and we'll go and organize with them.
The time is due. First round for men under 60 kilo. In white for France is Sophia Milou. In blue for Tunisia, Fry Douibi.
Üçüncü defa ikinci rengi. Kişiler arasında 66 kilogram çeki derecesinde Afgan'dan. Gürcistan'dan Tristan Beylikdüzü'nün. Büyük ihtimalle Kazakistan'dan Zansay Smagulov.
Attention please, the announcement for the Chief of Delegation of the National Team of Georgia, Sakartvelo. Please, the Chief of Delegation of the National Team of Georgia, contact immediately Mr. Juan Carlos Marcos.
Well, Guan Chiming made it to the mat with 13 seconds left to spare. It's rather like catching a flight. You know, that plane's going to take off if you're not there. It's not going to hang around for you, and Baggetti would have been delighted to have had a free ride into the next round. Anyway, she's got to face the unknown Guan. She may be unknown to us, but she's 28 already. Kwon Juming. Single Shido at the moment. Jetty leading and looking to work on the arm.
The 32, first round for men under 60 kilo. In white for the People's Republic of China, Zhu Leng. In blue for South Africa, Daniel Ligan.
Just a single Shido against Kwon. It's going to be enough for Bajetti to take the contest.
First round for women under 57 kilo, man 1. In white for the Netherlands is Carla Kroll. In blue for Azerbaijan, Shekhanah Husseinova.
Well, we're going to stay here for this next contest. We'll probably go to mat 2 afterwards, but let's have a look at Carla Grohl of the Netherlands. She faces Shahana Husseinova of Azerbaijan. It's Grohl in the white judogi and Husseinova in blue. Well, having said that we were going to stay on mat 1, we're actually going to go to mat 2 because we've got the second round of the under 60 kilo category starting, and we're going to have the number 1 seed, Ganbol Kherlen of Mongolia. He faces Rasim Almamadov of Azerbaijan. So let's go to mat number 2 and get the number 1 seed. There's another one who hasn't turned up. I said to Mark Pickering this morning that I hadn't seen Ganbold. I hadn't seen him at all. You normally see them floating around somewhere. Now the Azeris turned up, Almamadov, and there's no Ganbold. There's no Mongolian coach around. Nobody making an appearance. So we'll get the 30 seconds underway. Oh no, there he comes now. What's going on with these people? He's obviously had to change his gi, and that was why he was late, because that's one of ours that he's got on. You know, there's so much time You know when you're due on, get there in plenty of time, do all your checks, get it done, and... Oh, well. Anyway, Gunbold is on the mat now against Almamadov. He's getting used to the gi. Looks about 2 sizes too big for him. Misses with that Uchimata. Nice turn. Yeah. Just needs the top half. Almamadov managing to wriggle out of that one. Snake-like escape. Second penalty picked up by Gunbold. Uchimata attempt there from Almamadov. Doesn't come up with a score. Now it's Kurland's turn to struggle on the ground.
Please, spectators, we inform you that the opening ceremony of the Hangari Grand Slam here in Baku, Azerbaijan, will start at 4 p.m. It will be followed by the final block at 5 p.m.
Nice little bit of action from the Mongolian and the Azeri to set things up nicely in this last three minutes. Trouble now for Almamadov. We've already seen that Kurland's not that bad with the turnovers. He gets away with it this time, though. Surprised he got out of that. Little over 2 minutes left to go.
Second round for women under 52 kilo of mat 1. In white for Israel, Tony Schwartz. In blue for Russia, Ilona Boyachenko.
Well, Kurland catching up with Almamadov in the end and throwing him for Ippon. Almamadov shouldn't be too disappointed. He came up against the #1 seed and gave a good account of himself, but in the end he got caught, and you know, that was the likelihood anyway. Gave a good showing. Right, coming up next, Robert Shvidobadze of Russia. He faces Adrian Raymond of France. It'll be Shvidobadze in the white judogi and Raymond in blue. Shvidobadze had a win against Yassin Mudatir in the first round. They were talking earlier on about 4 o'clock being the start time for the opening ceremony, if I'm not mistaken. 4 o'clock. We'll see what happens when we get round to final block time. I'll let you know about that a little bit later on. Just the single Shido against Raymond at the moment. 3:20 odd left to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man won second round for women under 52 kilos. In white for Ireland, Lisa Kearney. Blue for France, Annabelle Urani.
Shvidobadze leading here by Wazari with 2:20 left to go. This time throwing for Ippon.
Second round for men under 60 kilograms of Mach 2. In white for Uzbekistan, Sharafudin Lutfilayev. In blue for Georgia, yours is Billy. Ladies and gentlemen, round one, second round for women under 52 kilo. In white for France, Olympic bronze medalist in London, Priscilla Nito. In blue for Turkmenistan, Gulbadan Bamamuratova.
Well, on mat number 2 now, we've got Sharafuddin Lutfiliev of Uzbekistan. He's up against Georgi Mezablishvili of Georgia.
Birinci tatami ikinci merhale. Fransa'dan Olimpiya gümüş medal sahibi Nito Priscilla.
Mezablishvili is the fighter with a Shido against his name. If you want to continue watching this one, you can stay on mat number 2, but we're going to go down to mat number 3, because coming on to mat number 3 now is Colin Oates of Great Britain. He faces Rishad Sobirov of Uzbekistan. And this morning when I was chatting with Mark Pickering, the IJF media director, we were talking about the matchups that we've had between this pair, Oates and Sobirov. 2-0. Oates leads the series. May surprise a few people out there. He certainly surprised Sobirov on a couple of occasions. Let's see what Oates has got to offer up with Sobirov today. Beaten him on both the occasions that they fought in the past. Once this year in Paris at the Grand Slam, and then once at the World Championships in Rio. 2-0. Sobirov trails Oates. Picks up a Shido here.
Second round for number 60 kilo, Mark 2. In white for Great Britain, Ashley McKenzie. In blue for Azerbaijan, Bugar Shiri. Second round for women on the 52 kilograms of Mat 1. Please welcome in white for Slovenia, Petra Nadek, and in blue for Azerbaijan, Busham Nazarova.
Well, nobody knows what it is, but Oates has got it over Sobirov. That's 3 for 3 now. There's no real working it out, is there? You know, you just sometimes that happens. He's definitely got his number there, hasn't he? Coming on to the mat now, Shalva Kardava of Georgia. He faces Gorjana Sjold of Hungary. It'll be Kardava in the white judogi and Gorjanac in blue. I like Kardava. He's not the superstar in the Georgian team, but just something about him that I like. Good matches coming up now. Filzmerza and Verhagen. Blow, Gazimova. That's on mat number 1. Petra Narex is down on mat number 1 at the moment. Ashley McKenzie is on the mat against Vuga Sharinli in the under 60 kilo category, on mat 2 that is. Looks as though Kardava's got himself a little bit of a cut there. Need to tidy things up. Shouldn't take us too long, but in the meantime, let's go down to mat number 1 then, because we were going to go there anyway. This is the decision going to Petra Narex. There you go, that's nice. All the information that you need on the two fighters. Coming up next, Sabrina Filzmerza of Austria faces Sanne Verhagen of the Netherlands. It'll be Filzmerza in the white judogi and Verhagen in blue. Stiff test here for Verhagen, facing the number 1 seed. We saw Filzmerza deal with Adia Sambu-Solman earlier on, winning that contest by Ippon in Newaza. Took a little bit of time for Verhagen to get into the contest. Left Sode Tsurikomigoshi is her favourite technique. Koichigari as well. Felsmerzer it is who picks up the passivity penalty. Just got to be careful with that right arm, has Verhagen. Strong right arm could put Felsmerzer's strong right arm could put her in trouble. Needs to turn quickly, couldn't, and now she's trapped the leg. And that's a good call from the referee. That a minute that the leg was trapped, that was the time to call the mate. Just over 2 minutes left to go. Single Shido on the board against Felsmerzer. There's the right arm I was talking about. Another effort blocked there by Felsmerzer. Verhagen attacking just at the right time as well. A suspicion of passivity there, but she manages to get in an attack. Still the Shido against Felsmerzer. Needs to be strong in defense here. There's a minute left to go. Just eat the clock up now. Verhagen, avoid the turnover. Yep, she has here. Odd seconds left to go. This is it here. Good effort again from Verhagen, left-sided. Really putting the pressure on Felsmerzer. Oh, Ushiro Kezugatami fell for it. Osaikomi goes on. Incredible, it's on the board now. Won't matter now.
On map 2, second round for another 60 kilo. One for Israel, Temashansky. In blue for Uzbekistan,
all that hard work from Verhagen. Did all the right things. And just right at the end when she needed to avoid the Nevaza, which, as she must know, is Felsmerzer's speciality. She ended up getting caught. Couldn't avoid it.
Second round for women under 57 kilo, man 1. In white for France, Laetitia
Well,
Bloch.
coming up next, Laetitia Bloch of France faces Kefayet Gazimova of Azerbaijan. It'll be Bloch in the white judogi, Gazimova in blue. Another good contest in prospect here. Already seen the Felsmerzer Verhagen contest. That lived up to expectations. Let's see what happens here.
Üçüncü tatami ikinci mehme, kişiler arasında 66 kilogram çeki derecesinde. Alt kimonoda İsrail'den Golden Polak, göğü kimonoda Azerbaycan'dan Ali Rızayev.
It's not really fairy tale story with Blow, but it is a nice story. Having waited so long for her chance to get into the French team and represent France abroad. Wow. A terrific counter. An absolutely terrific counter from Gazimov of old. That's what she's famous for. I think that's going to be it, I'm afraid. Well, I think if you see the replay, you're not going to argue with it. Really got hold of Blow there. Gazimova was known for that years ago, being really strong with the counters. We'll see Blow again, and here's the counter. Well, it's bound to be, because it's got to be an ippon for a couple of reasons. First of all is the attempted bridge, so that's got to come into it. You'll see that on the replay. There she goes over. She knows she's going over. Here's the attempted bridge. She's on her back anyway, so for two reasons that goes for ippon for me. So Blow's got some work to do in taking a medal, because she's going to have to come back through the repechage. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she's going to face Verhagen in the repechage contest. We'll see what happens after that. Anyway, on mat number 1 now, we've got Evelyn Schopp of Switzerland. She faces Tatiana Noskova of Russia. We'll take you to see some of the 60 and 66s when they get a little bit more oomph in them. At the moment, we're still going through the first round and second round, so nothing really to write home about yet. The other contests on the adjoining mats are Artyom Arshansky of Israel in the under 60 kilo category. He's on mat number 2 at the moment. I think that's a second round match. He faces Diorbek Urozboyev of Uzbekistan. And then on mat number 3 is Arshansky's teammate Golan Polak faces Ali Rzayev of Azerbaijan. Well, I think mat 2 looks the most promising coming up next. We'll probably go there after this Schopp-Noskova contest. Noskova on the board with Wazari, leading with 1:30 odd left to go. Right, we're going to go to mat number 2 now, because coming on to mat number 2, Ilgar Mushkiev of Azerbaijan faces Jeroen Muren of the Netherlands.
Second round for men under 60 kilo, mat 2. In white for Azerbaijan, Ilgar Mushkiev. In blue for Netherlands, Jeroen Muren.
Üçüncü tatami ikinci mehmet. Kişiler arasında 66 kilogram çeki derecesinde alt kıvamında Kazakistan'dan Yıldız Muhammed, büyük kıvamında Türkmenistan'dan Niyaz Murat Şahmat.
Favorite techniques, head to head. Doesn't look that good for Muren at the moment, does it? And lost all 3 of their contests. Mushkiev with the Judo against his name. Nothing else on the board. Well, Mushkiev absolutely got hold of Muren there. Beautifully done. That's the biggest shout from the Azeri crowd this morning. Mushkiev throwing Muren for Ippon.
In white for Slovenia is Flora Vegetti. In blue for the Netherlands,
Spinning Hizaguruma there from Mushkiev.
In white for France, Sofian Milou. In blue for the People's Republic of China, Su Rilege.
Mat 2 now. Sofian Milou of France faces Su Rilege of China. Milou in the white judogi, Su in blue. Milou trying to engineer an attack out of a rather difficult position there. And he does on this occasion, throwing Su for Ippon. Few Ippons beginning to materialize now. Two in quick succession there. Great contest in prospect coming up next. There's the Osotomaki Komi from Sofian Milou. Down on mat number 3, Munkbat Urantsetse, the current world champion, faces Aisha Gurbanli of Azerbaijan. We're going to stay here on mat number 2, however. Sorry about that. No, we're going to stay here on mat number 2. Ganbo Kerlan of Mongolia faces Robert Shvidobadze of Russia. This is likely to be a better contest. It's going to be more testing between the pair. I think Munkbat has probably got the beating of Gurbanli, to be honest, down on mat number 3, with the greatest of respect to the Azeri female. They're not normally known for their strength. Having said that, we did just see Kifayet Gazimova give Letizia Blow a good spanking, didn't we? Anyway, here's Ganbold in the white judogi, Shvidobadze in blue. A good old-fashioned Eastern matchup here, the Russian and the Mongolian.
Üçüncü tatami ikinci denge. Kadınlar arasında 108 kilogram çelik derecesinde. Akmanada Türkiye'den Sümeyye Akus, Büyükmanada Rusya'dan Natalia Kovačeva.
one. Room size for women under 52 kilo. In white for Russia, Ilona Bolyachenko.
Ganbol's having a bad day of it. Didn't look good in his first fight, and he doesn't look any better here. Just not happy. Defeated Rasim Almamadov in the opening round, and well, he had a bye in the opening round as the #1 seed, and then he defeated Almamadov in the second round. This is effectively the quarter-final. 2 rounds, a quarter-final, semi-final, and he really looks as though he's struggling here. Shvidabadze just doing enough to stay ahead of him as far as the Shidos are concerned. He'd obviously like to score, put things beyond Ganbol's reach, but he's not going to need to. Just didn't come to the party. Really wasn't happy. Shvidabadze it is. Ganbol having failed to bow. Yeah. Well, he gave a little bit of an effort, but as far as the bow is concerned, but with regard to the contest, really didn't offer up a great deal.
In white for Uzbekistan, Sherafudin Mutulayev. In blue for Azerbaijan, Bugar Shirinli.
Right, this is the best of the contests available at the moment. Sharafuddin Lutfiliev of Uzbekistan faces Vugar Shirinli of Azerbaijan. Shirinli, who defeated Ashley McKenzie in that second round contest. Let's see how he gets on against Lutfiliev. Down on mat #3, we've got Sumia Akos of Turkey. She faces Natalia Kondratieva of Russia. And then down on mat #1, well, Shirinli's just thrown Lutfiliev for Ippon. Nice. He's knocking a few of them over today then. Just about to say that down on mat #1, Ilona Buryachenko faces Roni Schwartz. Jeez. That was a hammering, wasn't it? Look.
This victory on mat 2, the Azeri fighter, Bugar Shirinli, qualifies for the semi-finals.
No doubt about it. Nice position, Dave Brown. Just look at the referee here. Yep. Good one. Another Azerbaijan Uzbek matchup. This time Orkan Safarov of Azerbaijan faces Diobek Urozboyev of Uzbekistan. It's Safarov in the white judogi, Urozboyev in blue. Udazboyev picks up the penalty for stepping out the area. It's his second penalty. I can't quite remember what the first one was for, but picks up a second one anyway. Have to wait for the scoreboard on the far side to get reconnected. Not quite sure whether it's both of them. Probably is. That's why Minakawa's waiting. Udazboyev has 3 penalties against him. Just as well they're taking a break. He's going to need it. Sorry for the delay. They're trying to get things sorted out. It looks as though they're going to have to do things manually, recording whatever scores and time and everything, because they can't get the scoreboard to work.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Mat 1, the first semi-final of the day. Women under 52 kilo.
Good score from Safarov. Rosari.
In white for Israel, Pauline Schwarz. In blue for Fox, Ahmed Erni.
.220 left to go. Safarov leading by Wazari. Udazboyev on thin ice here, not just the scores against him, but the 3 penalties that he's already picked up as well. Goes over a second time. And Safarov is into the semi-final. He threw Udazboyev twice there beautifully. Really well done. We've got a nice quarter-final coming up here. Ilgar Mushkiev and Sofyan Milu coming up next. Well, we're okay because we've got the graphics up in the top left-hand side of your screen, so you can see the time and the scores and who's fighting, where they're from, and all that information. Slightly unfortunate for those who are in the stadium, but oh well. On this occasion, we're able to give you a better service at home than they've got here in the venue. Mushkiev, first to get on the board. Beg your pardon, it was Milu. Milu leads by Yuko then, with 3:30 odd left to go. And now Mushkiev throws for Ippon, as he's done all morning. There's the danger man. He's really growing, Ilgar Mushkiev. When you can throw so many people for Ippon, that is really good. Another good Ippon from Ilgar Mushkiev.
The winner, implied for the Serbazan, Ilgar Mushkiev, qualifies for the semi-finals of this category.
Right, let's go down to mat number 1 then, because these are repechage contests coming up on mat 2. So let's go to mat number 1. Just when we go down there, Roni Schwarz has just lost out to Annabelle Urani. She just lost out to Annabelle Urani, but we're in time to get the second semi-final. There's the result of the contest between Roni Schwarz of Israel and Annabelle Urani of France. Oh, there's going to be another 13 seconds. They've decided not to give the Rosario. That'll be a Yuko. Why not? Well, that could be a score there, to be honest. 3 seconds left to go. In any case, Urani did come out the winner. A couple of untidy things there, but the result remains the same. Annabelle Urani is into the semi-final. We'll see Roni Schwarz in the bronze medal match. Coming up next, Priscilla Neto of France and Petra Narex of Slovenia. That's the next contest on mat number 1. We'll watch a little bit of this. This is the semi-final in the under 52 kilo category. No score yet, 240 odd left to go. Narex now picks up Bushido for stepping out of the area. Oh yes, really well done. A little bit off balance, Narex, and Neto able to take full advantage of that and throw the Slovenian for Ripon. Koshigaruma it looked like.
The winner of the semi-final of Mad One in white for France is Priscilla Neto. Economists will all the French judo in this category and then Germany in the final for women under 52 kilograms. Group size 5 for women under 57 kilos. In white for the Netherlands, Zanne Verbrugge. In blue, opponent for France, Laetitia Bleu.
Well, an interesting contest here now on mat number 1 in the repechage of the under 57 kilo category. Sanne Verhagen of the Netherlands and Laetitia Bleu of France. Only one of them can go through. Bleu who comes up with the score. She leads by Wazari with 2.5 minutes left to go. Looks like a second score there. This time it's Verhagen who gets on the board with Yuko. there's a degree of explosiveness that's missing from Verhagen's judo at the moment. She's coming up against fighters who are just that little bit more experienced in gripping, timing, movement. You know, we've seen her this morning against Belo Ivanova. She had the beating of the Russian. I didn't have any concerns about that. Filzmerzer was a little bit tougher, just proved that little bit more wily. And she got past Verhagen. All right, it was the Osaikomi in the end, but she was in there right to the end. And now, of course, in this contest, she's facing another 30-year-old, this time in the shape of Letizia Blow. And these are the fighters that I think are going to give her the greatest trouble for the time being. It was well over a year for her to tidy things up, and I still think that she can do this. Qualification I'm talking about, not this particular contest. You know, it's just she got caught once. She's lost twice today, and she's been caught twice. That's it. Just those two errors, and she would have taken both the contests. You can look at the sheet and say, oh, she's lost here and she's lost there, but you have to look at the contest and look at the way that she lost. And she's fought two more experienced opponents who've managed to use that experience to get past her. Right, we've got another repechage contest coming up, but we're going to go to a semi-final contest on mat number 2. It's Robert Shvidabadze of Russia in the white judogi. He faces Vuga Shirinli in blue. Two youngsters taking to the mat now, Shvidabadze and Shirinli. First of the semi-finals. Shirinli's been on the mat 3 times this morning, and he's had 3 ippons. So looking good at the moment. He's up now against Robert Shvidabadze, who's been on the mat 3 times so far, and he's had 3 ippons. So this is a major shootout here, and we're not even talking about the fighter in the 60-kilo category, who I think has been the pick this morning. That's Ilgar Mushkiev, who has been on the mat twice, and he's had 2 ippons. So between those 3 fighters in the under 60-kilo category, we've got 8 ippons. I think you could go through the whole under 60-kilo category in a whole competition sometimes and hope to find 8 ippons, but this has been a particularly good effort from the 60-kilo fighters today. Really, really good. Satemi was attempted there by Shirinli, doesn't come off, and Shvidabadze acrobatically avoiding getting caught there. We'll follow this with the second semi-final in the under 60 kilo category. That'll be Orkan Safarov of Azerbaijan and Ilgar Mushkiev, an all Azeri match up, that one. Three fighters from Azerbaijan making it into the under 60 kilo category semi-final lineup. Just Shvidabadze squeezing in there, the Russian, the only Azeri to lose out was Rasim Almamadov, who lost out to Ganbold Kerlin of Mongolia, the number 1 seed. Well, Shirinli's used his Sernagi, that Ippon Sernagi, to good effect earlier on this morning. He attempts left-sided Uchimata there, doesn't catch Shvidabadze, but that's what he's been using so far. Muroto Sernagi, left and right, or right and left, that was the order there from Shirinli. Good work rate from the Azeri. Shvidabadze picks up the passivity penalty with 1:40 odd left to go. Gaeshi attempted by Shirinli, but Shvidabadze saw that one coming and blocked that fairly easily. Just missed out there. Still working away though, Shirinli. Almost getting caught there with the Koji Gaki. Now a chance to work on the arm. Oh, Shirinli in trouble here. The referee called Mate. Shvidabadze couldn't find the way to arm lock Shirinli, despite the fact that Shirinli's arm was out and straight. Half a minute left. Nicely balanced between Shirinli and Shvidabadze, and there's a good effort, just couldn't finish off. It was a good effort from Shirinli. 20 odd seconds left to go.
In the semi-final, wide for Moscow,
oh, and he throws him for Ippon beautifully. Another one bites the dust to Bugar Shirinli of Azerbaijan. That was terrific. The crowd are on their feet here, and that was quality. Absolutely super from Shirinli. That is spectacular. Flattened Svidobadze. And remember, Svidobadze had been on the mat 3 times and thrown for Ippon 3 times. That was an absolutely super match. 16 seconds left to go, and over went the Russian. Best match of the day, that was. Robert Svidobadze and Vugo Shirinli. What a contest. And following that up, you've got an all-Azerbaijan match. Orkan Safarov and Ilgar Mushkiev. There's no doubt now that the final will be between 2 Azeris. We just don't know who the second one will be. What was that about? Hugging and swapping sides. They've done it again now. Safarov in the white judogi, Mushkiev in blue. Both fighters just being asked to get on with it. They've been out there for 15 seconds and they haven't touched each other yet, except for the hug. On paper, you would say that it would be Mushkiev Shirinli final, but I don't know how they match up against each other when they fight each other, Safarov and Mushkiev. Find out in the next couple of minutes. Safarov picks up the passivity penalty. It's his second. Oh, Shimiwaza coming here. Oh, he's managed to slip off that. Safarov was lucky. Mushkiev not any dangerous standing up. Showing that he's got a few skills in Neowaza as well. Well, another one who taps out was down on mat number 1. Gazimova has tapped out against Filzmerzer again. In the meantime, Orkan Safarov leads here by Wazara against Ilgar Mushkiev. There's a minute and a half left to go. Mushkiev beginning to press home now. Almost. Still get the feeling that Mushkiev could come up with something here. He's not done yet, is he? Tries left-sided, low tire toshi, doesn't come off. A minute to go now. There's still time. When he gets caught. Cleverly done by Safarov as he throws Mushkiev for Ippon. Well, what a final that is going to be. Vugar Shirinli will face Orkan Safarov in the final of the under 60 kilo category. Mushkiev is going to have to go and fight for bronze.
The winner of match 2, wide forward, Azerbaijan is Orkan Safarov.
Right, let's go down to mat number 3 then. That'll be the best place to go. Golan Polak of Israel in the under 66 kilo category is on the mat at the moment. And he faces Yeldos Zhumakonov of Kazakhstan. Zhumakonov in the white judogi. Sorry, Polak in the white judogi. Zhumakonov in blue. First time that they've faced each other. No score as yet. And we've just had the first minute. Uchimata. Zhumakanov catches Polak. Might be a better score here. Yuko's on the board at the moment. Nope, they're going to leave it as Yuko. Right. And that's a good effort from Polak. Come back and tie things up now, a Yuko apiece. Now Wazari on the board. Polak getting into it. Took him a little while, but he's into his stride now. Catches Zhumakanov for a second time. Zhumakanov kind of trying to come back with his own Ippon Seoinage. Doesn't come off. 2.5 minutes left to go. Quarter-final contest is for the last semi-final place. The winner of this will face Colin Oates. Semi-final lineup is Kim Lim Won and Kamal Khan Magomedov, Colin Oates, and as I say, whomsoever wins this one.
The semi-final for women under 57 kilo, Mat One comes to an end. And the winner in blue for Slovenia is the bronze medalist in the past World Championships, Flora Bejepi.
Minute 20 odd to go. Polak leading by Wazari. Both fighters scored Yuko, but it's the Wazari that's got Polak out in front. Mukhanov looking to engineer something from the mat edge on the ground, but the referee calls Mate, stands the pair up and asks them to tidy their gis up. Now, despite the fact that Polak leads here, what he can't afford to do is to pick up another penalty. Low left-sided effort, but Polak sees that coming. Now a chance to burn some of the clock here. Work on the ground. Referee calls Mate. Took about 12 seconds off. Here comes Shumakhanov again. Shumakhanov has to be first every single time. To really put his foot on the gas here and just keep attacking. And he hasn't got it, you see. Another big attack here from Shumakhanov. Got to be first. They won't want to give a penalty in the last 10 seconds to the person who scored twice. As long as he stays on his feet and keeps the attacks up, there you go, that'll do. It's done now. Polak won't have a lot left in him because it will have taken a tremendous amount out to win that, because Shumakhanov was really putting the pressure on. 3 penalties. Close thing. 2 good scores from Polak. And it's the Israeli who goes into the semi-final. He'll face Colin Oates. See if he's got enough energy to face the British fighter who's loved every second of that fight. The longer it went, the better Colin Oates felt. Polak it is who wins out there. Shumakhanov we'll see in the repechage contest. Speaking of which, we've got 2 repechage contests now in the under 48 kilo category. Now the first of these is Aisha Gurbanli of Azerbaijan, and she faces Natalia Kondratieva of Russia. It's Gurbanli in the white judogi, Kondratieva in blue. Gurbanli managing to fight off a strong effort from Kondratieva, who was attempting to apply Jujigatami. Couldn't quite bring it off, however. More problems for Gurbanli here. If she can keep Kondratieva trapped, she's got a chance of keeping hold of her arm. It's not surprising that Gurbanli has picked up a penalty for passivity. Kondratieva has done most of the work. And she's done a great deal of that work in Nevaza, and that'll do now. Kazuri Tatishiogatami. And there just isn't sufficient enough strength left. Oh, there is to get out of it. There's only a Yuko there, 45 seconds left. Kondratieva was a little bit too far up the body there. And Gurbanli managed to escape. Still got the arm trapped. There comes a turnover from Kondratieva. She's managed to fight off the arm lock on a few occasions. It was back for the Osai-waza, but it's not happening. 20-odd seconds. It's been a good, spirited effort from Gurbanli. But Kondratieva has got the legs for this one, I think. But very good effort. This time the shimiwaza is what does for Gurbanli. She came under attack from all sides there. Fought off the Osai-waza, fought off the attempted Kansetsu waza, but eventually it was the Shimiwaza that finished her off. So Kondratieva of Russia it is, who we'll see in the bronze medal match.
The winner in blue for Russia is Natalia Kondratieva. She will fight for the bronze medal in her category.
We've got another repechage contest coming up now. Jiang Yahong of China faces Dilara Lochmanhakim of Turkey. It'll be Jiang in the white judogi, Lochmanhakim in blue. Jiang attacking first, but with no real result. It's a better grip now from Lochmanhakim. Jiang won't want to get up from there because she'll get a real disadvantage as far as the grip is concerned. Good strong grip from the Turkish fighter. Here she comes again. Unorthodox, but strong nevertheless. Jiang throwing in another Seoinage effort and Lochmanhakim blocking that fairly easily. Jiang is the fighter who picks up the penalty this time for a false attack. Lochmanhakim still looking for an opening, taking her time about it as well. There's a minute and 30 odd left to go. A little bit more urgency needed from the Turkish fighter here. Uchigari and Jiang able to step off that. No control with the left hand from Lochmanhakim in that attack. Real threat there Lokmanahim throwing for Wazari there with Ochigari. That'll do, to be honest, because Jiang really has never looked as though she can throw Lokmanahim. Time running out for the Chinese. It'll be Lokmanahim to fight for the bronze medal. We've got the semi-finals in the under 48 kilo category coming up next.
The winning blue for Turkey is Lokmanahim. She will fight for the bronze medal in the winner of the 48 kilograms category. Coming next to the semi-final for...
Well, we've still got a little bit of judo left for you. I suppose by 1:30. It's 10-1 now, but by 1:30 we should have things wrapped up. Right, we're underway with the first of the semi-finals in the under 48 kilo category. Munkbat Orensetse, the current world champion, faces Sumia Akos of Turkey. Munkbat confounding everyone, including myself, regarding her ability to continue to make weight at under 48 kilos. Well, London would be the last of it, but must have been a hiccup. She's obviously taking a little bit more time and being a little bit more careful about how she makes 48 kilos. Munkbat picked up that penalty for ducking underneath for an action that she'd done a few seconds before that exchange. So the referee didn't call a mate until he didn't give the penalty until he had a chance to. He called a mate, and during that mate he gave a penalty for the previous action. A little under 2 minutes left to go. No score yet, just the Shido against Munkbat. Now defending against the attempted Shimiwaza. She knocks down Akos but doesn't come up with a score. She manages to turn onto her front. Just got out of that. Oh, not bad. Showing her skills there. And catching Sumia Akos. Had to tap out. Right, we've got this second semi-final in the under 48 kilo category. Amelie Rosinu of Israel faces Valentina Muscat of Italy. Needs to go over to the right arm. Just push that out. And then out comes the left arm. There you go. A little bit of pressure on the right. Squeeze that out. Freeze up the left. Apply the arm lock. There you go. Rosano wins one on the ground, having lost a few there recently. Proving a bit painful for Valentina Muscat. Just left it a little bit too long to tap.
Winner in white for Israel.
The elbow's going to be a bit sore.
She will be in the final for winner under 48.
Left it there for a little bit too long. Coming up next, the first of the repechage contests in the under 66 kilo category. We've got Jansei Smagolov of Kazakhstan. He faces Elio Verde of Italy. It's Smagolov in the white judogi, Verde in blue. A little bit of footwork from Smagolov before he attempts the Surigoshi, but doesn't come off. It really doesn't trouble Verde either. Referee had already called mate, so there won't be a score for that. Two minutes have gone past fairly quickly as Smagolov attempts that right-sided Uchimata. Verde managing to step off it, or hop off it. Uchigari again from the Kazakh. Verde again avoiding getting caught. Verdi a little bit tied up with the grips, I'm afraid. Not able to free his hands up and come up with any big attacks. A little under 2 minutes left to go. Another Uchimata effort. This time a Yuko on the board. Wazari makes things even worse. I think for a moment Maddaloni thought it might be taken off, but it was the opposite. Made things worse for his man. Smagolov leading by Wazari now. Smagolov collected 3 Shidos along the way. It Zari, however, is the thing that's going to do for Verdi here. Can't come up with an attack. It'll be a 7th place finish for Elio Verdi. Jansei Smagulov of Kazakhstan will fight for the bronze medal. All right, we've got another repechage contest coming up for you next, and then we'll have 2 semi-finals in the under 66 kilo categories. 1:05 here. I expect that we'll wrap things up at about 1:30, and I'll let you know when we'll be back with the final block.
You will be in the bronze medal contest for under 66 kilo.
Üçüncü tesadüf meselelerini görüş. Kişiler arasında 66 kilogram çekim derecesinde A bölümünde Gürcistan'dan Şalva Kardava, Gürcistan'dan Kazakhstan'dan Yıldız Mahanov.
And the next of the, or the second of the repechage contest in the under 66 kilo category, Shalva Kadava of Georgia faces Yeldos Drumakanov of Kazakhstan. Kadava, having picked up that cut on the head earlier on, is all bandaged up. Tension in the air now, because they've got these 2 repechage contests, but they'll be followed immediately by the semi-finals in the under 66 kilo category, so still some judo to go and a little bit of tension in the air. No Azeris involved in the 66 kilo category. We're missing Nijat Shikalizada. He would have been there or thereabouts. But he picked up a knee injury at the European Championships in Montpellier last week. And he's resting that now in preparation for the start of the Olympic qualification period, which starts later this month. Makanov leading here by Yuko. .320 odd left to go. Oh, slip on the sumige. Sheeny was lucky to avoid getting caught on the ground there, Kadava. good effort. Ended up putting his head into the mat, however. Not managing to turn him to the point where he could score. Yuko still the lead for Zhumakanov. Minute 47 left to go. Good counter from Zhumakanov. Cadaver just running out of a little bit of strength there, couldn't fight it off. And it's the Kazakh who comes up with the win. I think the head injury must have taken a bit out of Cadaver today. Yildiz Zhumakanov will fight for the bronze medal. We've got the two semi-finals in the under 66 kilo category coming up next, and then we'll take a break. So, two more contests to bring you. The first of which is Kim Lim-hwan of Korea. He faces Kamal Khan Magomedov of Russia. It'll be Kim in the white judogi, Khan Magomedov in blue. Kim's left his arm out there. Khan Magomedov almost takes it off. That looks a bit painful.
The winner in blue for Russia is Kamal Khan. The Russian judoka will be in the final.
Oh, Kamal Khan Magomedov applied that pretty sharpish. Kim couldn't tap quite quick enough. Going to leave his right arm a bit sore. Coming up next, Colin Oates of Great Britain faces Golan Polak of Israel. Polak having had that bruising battle earlier on. He's had plenty of time to rest, however. So he should be in good shape now. To fight off an attempted arm lock there. He might have a sore arm as well. He had that long battle with Zhumakanov, Yildiz Zhumakanov. Came out on top after the 5 minutes. Through for Wazari, and then he had 3 penalties. He picks up a penalty here for avoiding to take a grip. Last time that Oates had a grip on him, he nearly took his arm off, so you can tell that You can tell, you can understand why he's a little bit tentative and sticking his arm out there. Sumigaishi attempted from Oates, but it was a little bit untied. He never really got where he wanted to be. Ended up putting a bit of pressure on Polak on the ground, but nothing came of it as they left the competition area, and the referee, Andreas Hempel, called mate. It's again not quite with the grip that he wanted. Couldn't come up with a strong attack. Again, the Yoko Satemiwaza. A little bit better. At least there's some danger there. The Israeli coach immediately asked to vacate the seat. He's probably been put out before and snuck back in. Oh well. Oates just slipping that grip, looking to go left-sided with the Uchimata. Never really came up with it, and he lost contact with the hands there. Attempted the combination there, that didn't come off. Oates now picks up the penalty for a false attack. Minor delay whilst they sorted out the Israeli coach's seating arrangements. Again, the Satemiwaza. It's been his go-to waza for the time being. He goes again, but I think Polak's got the measure of it. Not really threatening him. He's also picked up Shido for a false attack, so we need to be careful not to get caught up in that again. I'd like to see him go left-sided. Maybe with Toshio Uchimata. Oh, that was good. Oates was the one who was in there. It was really, really good effort, but there's a lot of movement going on. The question here will be, how much control did Polak have of Oates going down? Zero, in my opinion, and that was a good call. Oates was the one who was throwing himself into that attempted Tanio Toshi. He was the one who was going down as a result of his action, and Polak never took any of it over, so he couldn't claim a score. That was the closest, really, that Oates has come to scoring. The Sotemi-Waza efforts, I think Pollack has got those covered now. He's not going to catch him with that. Picks up a second penalty for a false attack. Goes back to it. He comes up with it, though. There you go, Yuko. Osai Komi as well. Well, spoke too soon. I didn't think he had it in him to catch Pollack. He did. He came up with a big effort. Second Yuko on the board now. He just needs to keep hold of Pollack, keep working him over on the ground. Oates is going to take this one. Has a quick look at the clock. Looks at working on the arm as well. Five seconds. This has got away from him. From Pollack. Oates was the number 2 seed here. He can afford to take another penalty. He doesn't need it in the end. 2 scores over Golan Pollack. Very enough for the British fighter to make his way into the final. He'll face Kamal Khan Magomedov of Russia in the final of the under 66 kilo category. I'm just going to check with my colleagues quickly with regard to the timing for the final block. We're going to be back at 5 o'clock then. Right, the opening ceremony is at 4 o'clock, but the action will be underway at 5 o'clock. Thanks very much for your company, but from everyone here in Baku, bye-bye for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last fight of the 30-minute round. The opening ceremony will start 4 p.m. and the final bout will